What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaf here, back with another video out on the outside. I've been doing something dangerous recently. I've been reading, and I've actually been reading a book a week. I started this before the new year, so before 2019, and it's been very helpful. It's been helpful in me constructing my thoughts better, formulating ideas that I've had, and one of those areas actually would be in the realm of lifting. You see, myself and Eric Helm started something called Iron Culture. It's a podcast. The podcast specifically takes a look at lifting as a whole, but it's kind of unique. We take a historical, social, cultural, and scientific perspective. So a holistic approach to what we like to do for iron enthusiasts, uniting bodybuilders, weightlifters, powerlifters, strongman competitors, just general lifters. And one of the things that shocked me when I started reading the history of lifting was that the first bodybuilding competition, the championship event of 1901, hosted by none other than Eugene Sandow, who was the person that came up with this bodybuilding championship event, the emphasis was not on who was the most yucky. In fact, muscle mass monsters, freaks as they were known even back in the day, were not the individuals that would win. Proportion, symmetry, conditioning, the tone of the tissue were the things that were emphasized. So wouldn't you know it, the first bodybuilding competitions did not emphasize only muscle mass. It was a balance of a lot of different variables, and it was popular. This championship event in 1901, 15,000 people attended. That's more than probably the last 5 Mr. Olympias combined, okay, 1901. And the winner, which I'm gonna show a photo here, William Murray, would probably shock you. Oh, he doesn't look that muscular. I mean, I do think he has a very solid physique, and he did a lot of different sports. For some people, he might not be their traditional sense of what a bodybuilder is, but there's 61 participants that had to qualify from local shows. This also indicates that the emphasis of bodybuilding originally, the conception from its conception, is different than what it is today. It was a holistic approach. So oftentimes there'd be a bodybuilding competition, and then there also would be some sort of physical competition. So you had to show what your body could do in the form of physical feats of strength. And so those two were much more intertwined. The longevity of the career was also once again emphasized. This wasn't something where you go in for 5 years, use a ton of drugs, they didn't have any drugs, and then you just retire, and before you know, you have a ton of health issues. It was trying to promote physical health as a whole. So how you look, how you feel, how you move. And I just think in the last 100 years, wow, thanks to commercial considerations, thanks to muscle magazines, we get these bubble guts appearing. We have these freaks of nature, which I think some people genuinely like. They want to push themselves to the limit. But is that what bodybuilding is about? And is that what we should be taking away from this lifting journey? In my personal opinion, for most people, unless you want to be a freak of freaks, so in which case, do your thing, would be no. I think the holistic perspective of bodybuilding is important, and I'm not just talking to bodybuilders. Anyone that tries to improve themselves in lifting, so going to the gym for strength, for appearance, for a combination of those, I think you're an iron enthusiast. I think you count under this umbrella. I think the biggest lessons we could take away from lifting is not how much we lift and not how we look. Those are expressions of what we overcame. So the discipline, the dedication that we developed, that hopefully we take outside of the gym. And I just see on social media, man, I just see on the magazines and the competitions an emphasis on the freakiness. People just want to see these individuals that are 340 pounds that, you know, we're seeing constantly news of these individuals dropping dead at, you know, in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s. How is this holistic? How is this promoting physical health in a positive way? And so I think we've lost our way. I think if you take a look, and this wasn't just even the first competition, by the way, 1901, this more holistic overview. In fact, into the 1930s and 40s for Mr. America, more often than not, the absolute freak, so the person with the most amount of muscle mass wouldn't win. It was proportion, symmetry, aesthetics, conditioning, a lot of different variables. And it's just interesting how once again we've kind of gotten a little bit away from that, and that if we endeavor to lift for a long-term career for the rest of our lives, we have to frame things in a new perspective, because maybe social media won't be around in its current iteration forever, right? Maybe you won't be taking your MySpace catfish photo for Tinder or whatever you're doing, where you need to get those abs to look a certain way. You need to dig deeper, because I want everyone out there to be doing this for the right reasons, for your own personal reasons, whatever they might be, but also for a long period of time. Because I have noticed, and again, I state this once again, for my university friends, it's only myself and another guy who went on to become a gym owner. From the original clique of 7 to 8 people that still routinely lift. And I can say that lifting has positively impacted my life in so many different ways. So I think reframing what's important when it comes to lifting is necessary in order to have that long career. And I'm thankful, honestly, for Eric, for us doing the Iron Culture podcast, for him illuminating me and saying like, hey man, check out this book. There's actually someone who we're probably going to do an interview with that a lot of people might not know, called Dave Draper, who was very popular. He was kind of a proto-Arnold, and just his overall philosophy when it comes to lifting, how he evolved over time, and how, once again, he trained well into his 60s, 70s. He's still alive to this day trying to push himself. Anyway, I just thought, once again, this video should be made kind of as a counter to what's going on social media, in the magazines. Do it for yourself, dig a little deeper, ask those questions, don't be afraid of looking at those skeletons in the closet. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we all, as someone said, Severin, we're all gonna make it. So, if you liked the video, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure to like the damn video, and I'll see all you guys, my pink bulls, in that next video. Peace! Alright, back to selling creatine, man.
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.